So let's get prepping here. So just got back from the good old gym. Like usual, gonna have some dinner, feed those muscles. No, I don't really believe in an anabolic window. I don't believe if you don't eat after 30 minutes after the gym that you'll lose your gains. I think there might be something to be said about having like some sort of meal timing in terms of like when you eat, but more so probably for like spacing out your protein. If you were to eat one giant meal in the day, I'm sure you'd make like pretty well just the same amount of gains that you would make if you spaced out your meals. But it leads me to believe that there is probably a small increase in your gains if you space out your protein. Now that's just what I think. I don't think everything can just be the exact same. There has to be a change. You know, depending on your schedule, whether or not that change would be actually worth carrying out if you had, like say like a hectic schedule and you could only really eat less times in the day and bigger meals. For you to think that you shouldn't do that and be stressed out about that is kind of crazy. Keep in mind like getting the big things right. So what do you eat overall in the day, calorie wise and macronutrient wise, in terms of if you want to lose weight or if you want to bulk up, is going to be like the most important thing. So just keep that in mind, guys. So don't stress the little things unless you want to look for that small improvement. And now if you're just like an average Joe, just like me, where you just lift for fun and you just want to look good, but you don't necessarily want to be like super jacked, then honestly getting the big things right is honestly the best thing that you can do, and be consistent with it. That's going to produce the best gains possible. Worrying about the little stuff is really not that important. So yeah, obviously, you know, not everything is created equal. So I think there is some sort of a change when you space out your meals and when you pay attention to little details like things like that. I think there is some benefit. So just to address that anabolic window thing, I don't necessarily that it's like as hyped up as people used to think it was, obviously, that like if you missed the 30-minute window that you wouldn't gain as much muscle as you would have if you had eaten within that time span. But keep in mind, at some point your body does need fuel to replenish. So like if you can eat sooner than later, it's probably a little bit better. Is it noticeable like in your physique per se? Like if you were to be perfectly to the point, meal timing on point, spaced out meals, eating right after your workouts within that 30-minute window, if you had all like the hippie bro old school kind of stuff perfectly, and you were to take a side by side of your physique with the version of you that doesn't focus on those little things but gets like the big things correct, I honestly think that your physiques would honestly probably look just about the same. If there is a marginal, or not marginal, but if there is a very small improvement, for guys like me, guys, like, is that really going to benefit my life in any way? Like having like half a pound more muscle, is that really going to benefit my life? Is that going to change my life that much visually? No, not really. And is it worth it if it's going to stress me out and make my life tougher and not work out with my schedule? Then obviously the trade-off, the cost of achieving that like 0.5%, 1% benefit that you really don't even notice wasn't worth the cost. So something to keep in mind. So I'm just snapping together my typical meal. This is what I ate yesterday, but I actually had a little bit less potato. So I shifted around my calories a little bit to allow me to have a little bit more potato tonight. So all I gotta do is get the eggs going, and then I'll microwave this, and then it's time to chow down. Oh, here we go. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna make this somewhat of a quick one. Not yap too much this time. So, what a classic meal this is. Ground beef, potatoes, and eggs I'm honestly loving the addition of the eggs, guys, to the ground beef and potatoes. Literally tastes amazing. I added some egg whites in this too, of course, just to add some more volume of food, just to fill me up a little bit more, and also a little bit more protein. And the protein as a macro is pretty satiating too. Fats are satiating too, but obviously proteins are less in calories. So that way you can have a little bit more volume for that satiation. I did throw in some mushrooms. I'm probably not even gonna chart that I put in mushrooms, just whatever, YOLO. So yeah, this has become just, I don't know, just the way that the eggs taste with the beef right now. I'm just loving it. So man, you guys are gonna see this meal over and over and over, but don't be hating, because the man who finds something that works and does it over and over is the one that wins. Honestly, guys, it's getting the big things right consistently. So don't get caught up in the little details. Find something that works for you, and that works obviously like with the laws of thermodynamics, and you're not some rare exception in cases like that, but find like an eating plan that works for you, find a diet that works for you, training regimen that works for you, and just run it over and over and over. So guys, this meal works for me, this diet works for me, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I enjoy it, I can be consistent with it. And it's really that, it's getting it right, or mostly right, consistently, that really makes you stand apart. So I'm just gonna keep running this meal, guys, making my gains, making my progress, and you know, I'm gonna win in the end. I'm gonna get to my goals, and I suggest you try to do the same thing too. What can I update you guys on? Guys, I've been having a little bit of sciatic pain. Honestly, I've been taking a little easy on the cardio recently. And now I'm starting to bring it back in a little bit, but I'm not really doing, so I typically do like treadmill, and I typically do like pretty nice incline, decent speed, and then I'll do some Stairmaster after for 10 minutes and really push myself. So I knocked off the Stairmaster, like I'm not doing that anymore right now. And then when I do the treadmill, I'm not going as hard, so I'm not going on as high of an incline and not as fast. So I'm really just trying to not push my body as hard and not trying to exert myself as much, because I really want that sciatic area to kind of heal up. There's this one stretch that I always do that I posted on my channel way back. It's kind of a stretch where you lay down on the ground, and you have one leg out in front of you, kind of at like a 90-degree angle, and then you lean forward, and then you have the other leg like back a little bit, and it like stretches the hip, stretches that glute, and that just that whole sciatic region. And I found in the past, when I was consistent with stretching with that stretch, the sciatic pain would go away. And it's actually been taking a little while for it to go away recently, even doing that stretch consistently. So it's a little note for myself: once this goes away, don't get lazy with my stretching. I've got to stay consistent with that so that it doesn't creep up on me and I don't get pain again. And also so I don't have to backtrack and pull back on my training and then reduce my cardio. So, you know, obviously sciatic pain is going to affect my cardio. It's going to affect the way that I look. It's going to affect my leg workouts, because it kind of hurts a little bit sometimes, but it hasn't gotten to the point where I have to take it easy on my leg workouts. It's more the cardio that it flares up. So this week I just brought back the treadmill. I'm just going to do it not as hard, not as high of an incline, not as fast. And then I think next week I'm going to up the treadmill intensity a little bit, but not bring back the Stairmaster yet. At all costs, I'm going to keep the Stairmaster out as long as possible. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm just going to see how it feels, obviously. Like if it gets better quicker, I might pull back in the Stairmaster a little bit sooner, but the plan is just to increase the treadmill intensity, and then as I'm pain-free doing that, bring back in the Stairmaster, and don't bring it back in as often or as hard. Just work my way back up to the intensity I was doing and the frequency that I was doing before, and hopefully keep that sciatic pain away by also doing all my stretching. Let me take a bite of this. Let's see. Yeah, still delicious. So I'm gonna try to enjoy this while it's hot. That's kind of updated where my life is looking at. I'm really enjoying these videos. Hopefully it's giving you guys motivation to stay consistent and stay on the grind. and really just gives you insight into like what like it actually looks like to, I guess, like be on a diet and be consistent day after day. And that's really the whole goal that I'm trying to push here, and the whole message that I'm trying to push here is consistency and how things compound over time. So hopefully by showing you guys day after day for the next little while, it just shows you and motivates you to just stay consistent with me, because that's the goal, right? To do this for myself and also to motivate you guys to do it for yourselves too, and to do it with me so that we can enjoy this process together. Because you got to fall in love with the journey. The journey is where it's at. You can't just fall in love with the destination, because ultimately the destination and the end point, you keep moving the goalposts further and further back, keep increasing the standard higher and higher. So you're never fully happy with what you've got, in the sense that you're always going to want to do better and better. You should be, like Christian Guzman says it, proud but never satisfied. So be happy at what you've achieved, look back, reflect, be thankful, be grateful, enjoy the fruits of your labor. But you always want to raise the bar, guys. You always want to continue to get better and better. And getting better is a result of consistency of doing the right thing. So you got to make sure you get most things right. You don't have to be like obsessed with the fine details. But if you can get the big things right first, then you've shown yourself that you're consistent enough to get the big things right. Now you can get the little things right. So get the big things right first, then you can focus on the little things after. And then again, it's just that consistency over time. You're just going to get better and better. You're going to reinforce the identity of the person that you want to be. The more that you do it, the better you become at it, the easier it becomes. It's harder to start a habit when you're first starting it, but once it becomes a habit, it's obviously easier to do it. Obviously, this sounds like common sense, but if you want to learn about it in detail, read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. He really goes into detail about how to form habits, and then of course using the verse, which he does in the book, to show you the flip side of how to also erase bad habits. Because some people might pick up that book thinking, I want to make good habits, or they might be like, how do I get rid of bad habits? And that's how you do it, guys. It's getting the big things right consistently. Then as you get better, you can start focusing on improving, so then starting to get the little things right. And that's pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow for the next set of meals. Peace.